Another missed trade opportunity followed by a break-even trade. Let's see how it played out. All right, guys, welcome back. Taking a look at my trades on the day. Didn't take anything in the live session. Missed a pretty great trade opportunity in the live session. Wasn't able to execute and enter into the trade, and then after the live session, I was able to get into a trade, but ended at break even. So I am break even on the day today, Thursday, August 25th, 2022. But first, I wanted to go through the missed trade, which I still have here in the trade plan. Let's see here. It was a zone fade with some nice consolidation inside of the zone that I had marked out, and then a clean breakout on the new 30-minute candle. Too slow to place the order and not aggressive enough to get in. I was too busy trying to get a better entry and missed the trade completely. Well planned, poorly executed. If we take a look at the screenshot, right? Expecting it to be a ranging day, price broke down at the open. Wasn't able to get into any of this long. Finally came into the zone up here of the overnight. Consolidated, spent quite a bit of time up here consolidating, and when it broke down, I wanted to get in. And I wasn't able to get in. It's not even that I wasn't able to get in. I was extremely, extremely hesitant today on this trade. Because once it broke down into this level here, really I needed to be getting in up here on this breakdown, which I just missed out on, I guess. But once it broke down into here, I did want to see a healthier pullback to get into the trade. So I was trying to get in confirmation, and it just left without me. I think I have another screenshot here, right? This is now the 5-minute. That was the 2-minute. And really, this was the trade. Like, when that 5-minute candle closed, breaking, like, engulfing all of these previous 4 or 5 candles to the downside on the new hourly candle, that should have been my trade right there. Set, go, see you later. Pretty quickly, it came to target. I think in the next, like, 5-minute candle, it came to target for a clean 2-to-1 trade. And so just keep on missing out on good trade opportunities. Got to improve my execution. Really, that's all I can say about that one. If we go ahead and look then at the trade that I actually took. Pullback continuation after missing the original reversal trade that I mentioned, the zone fade reversal. Not a terrible trade, but because I was expecting it to be a ranging day, the location of this trade made the probabilities of this trade drop. And so because of that, I was a bit more aggressive, adding on, trying to get to a faster target, and I was earlier than usual moving my stop. I was pretty aggressive moving the stop for good reason, because I was expecting it to be a ranging day and for this trade not to run. And so close this trade out, break even, and it wouldn't have gone to target regardless. So I'm not an issue on the trade management. This was the trade, right? So on the breakdown here that I missed, had a extremely high volume candle here in this breakdown there. Extremely high volume. Came and tested the opening range or where it broke out from, and pulled back, and I had a limit order here. Well, I waited for it to break in, and then I set my order, but I was risking this entire 2-minute candle and these highs, which was the high of the full 5-minute candle. Unfortunately, I got in, it was the wrong position size. This should have been 5 contracts instead of 9. So very quickly, I ended up closing this trade for like 2 points, I think, and then re-engaging with the correct contract size. Why I didn't just close out 4 of the 9 contracts and leave the other 5 like I was supposed to, couldn't really tell you off the top of my head. But because I closed that original trade out, I was up $75 and kind of used that to wiggle my way around this trade, if you will. You'll see my original entry here, targeted out there, and then got back in with my original 5 contracts. Price hung out up here for a while, and then broke down. And when it broke down, I added on, this was actually the 5-minute candle close as well, and I added on breaking the low of that. Because I wasn't sure how far this was going to go, and so I wanted to move my target up a little bit. And so adding on was going to give me the opportunity to do so. My original stop was way up here. And in doing so, I brought my stop down, still risking the 250. And so I didn't really increase my risk by adding on there. And I had the $75, like I said, of the first trade kind of as my extra wiggle room. So I ended up, price actually did break down though, but immediately popped back up. This is the 15-minute. Broke down. That's a huge buying candle. And at that point, I moved my stop to break even, minus the $70 that I made in the first trade, and ended up getting stopped out basically for $0 overall. And so that was the trade that I took. Price reversed from there and went up the rest of the afternoon. So it wasn't necessarily bad trade management on this one. It's expecting a ranging day. It was within the range, on the lower end of the range, so pretty difficult to take a short from down here on a day like this. Hence why I was a little bit more aggressive. What was frustrating is while I was in this trade short, and we got that huge reversal candle here, I really wanted to be long, but I wasn't just going to close this trade, so I actually set up a long on a sim that I ended up taking one tick above this, got filled on this candle on the sim trade, and that one went all the way to target, which was these highs here. So missed out on that sim trade, but didn't necessarily. I'd already missed the first trade. This wasn't a terrible trade. It just wasn't a trade that worked out, and I didn't necessarily want to chase anything. So I had set it up before I even got out of this trade. Before I had gotten stopped out, I set it up on sim because I wasn't going to just reverse this trade immediately after getting stopped out. And it did work out. So that would have been really the trade of the day for me. After missing out on my first original setup. If we take a look at the internals at the time, I wanted to be short. Price broke down, pulled back. Didn't really give a great pullback when I got in here, but had pulled back some and started to come back down in my favor, but pretty quickly just kind of like flattened out here. Flattened out until I got stopped out. And even when I got stopped out on this trade, the last candle that this printed on the advanced decline before I got stopped out was a red candle, and price was going up. So just the internals weren't really in my favor. And if you look here at the tick chart, this is where I got in, and this red dotted line is where I got out. And you'll see that it spent most of the time above the zero line, the green zero line that I have there. We had a few pops down, but neither of them ran enough to get to target. And then it spent most of the time, more of the time, above the zero line. The dollar for me to be short, the dollar I needed to go up, which it did in the first part of my trade. You'll see here, went up, broke these highs. I was hoping on this green candle was going to continue to push up, but then reversed, and as it came down, that's when my trade started to reverse on me and go back up. And the VIX I needed to be going up for me to be short, and for the most part, it did. I mean, it hit a new high there, and it hit a new high there. But was for the most part just flat, and so I didn't get any help from that. And then you'll see that it reversed back down, and the dollar kind of trended downwards the rest of the afternoon as well, and so the charts went up, the indexes went up, as you can see here, which line up with what the dollar did. Dollar went down, VIX went down, markets went up, right? These are the 4 indexes at the time. And, yeah, they've all shot up in the late afternoon. So that was my trade break even. So not a good trading day, but break even. Certainly some things I can learn from it. Need to, like I continue to say, work on my execution. But we do live to fight another day. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. pre-market analysis. 9:25 we go live. Still not actually sure if I'm going to be doing the pre-market analysis tomorrow, but I'll be here for the live at 9:25. Thanks again for watching. Catch you tomorrow.